Thursday, July 23rd. I wasn't expecting this detail to surface so soon, but it seems Carly Spencer is finally starting to realize that she has willingly stepped into a psychological game that is far more dangerous than anything she ever anticipated. She thought she was just helping Valentine Cassadine, but the stakes have suddenly skyrocketed into lethal territory. Everyone assumes that Jack Brennan simply wants his stolen property back. Most viewers believe that Valentine is just holding on to the black box to negotiate a massive payout or secure some high-level WSB immunity. The obvious explanation seems to be that this is a straightforward standoff between two incredibly dangerous men fighting over leverage. But what if we're looking at this the wrong way? If you ask me, Valentine Cassadine is acting entirely too calm for a man who is supposedly holding the only copy of highly classified, life-threatening WSB intelligence. A man like Valentine, with his deep Cassadine intellect and years of espionage experience, does not just sit on a single point of failure. I keep wondering whether the black box they are all fighting over is nothing more than a decoy. There is a very strong behind-the-scenes possibility that Valentine has already copied every single piece of data from that box. He might have set up a dead man's switch. If this theory holds true, Jack Brennan would never dare to actually eliminate Valentine. Because the second Valentine disappears or his heart stops beating, all of those devastating WSB secrets would automatically be broadcast to the public, the press, and every intelligence agency on the planet. There may be more going on here regarding Carly's involvement as well. Because Carly and Valentine have developed this intense, unexpected romantic connection, there is a massive unconfirmed rumor floating around that Carly actually knows about these secret data copies. She might even be the one holding the backup drive. If Jack Brennan even suspects that Carly has access to the copied evidence, she instantly becomes the prime target. Carly's fierce determination to get revenge on Brennan for everything he has put her family through might blind her to the fact that she is painting a massive bullseye on her own back. Meanwhile, over at the PCPD, the tension is reaching a boiling point. Anna Devane is desperately trying to piece together the chaotic events of the pier shooting. We are hearing that Jack Brennan is going to walk right into the station and drop a massive bombshell, confidently shocking Anna by confirming that Cassius Faison was absolutely not the person who shot Ross Cullum. Everyone assumes Brennan is just trying to clear the board and assert his dominance by showing Anna how much more he knows than her. What if that wasn't the real reason? What if the situation is being manipulated from the very top? My theory is that Brennan is intentionally feeding Anna this information to lead her down a completely wrong investigative path. He knows exactly who pulled the trigger, but he is deliberately hiding the truth to protect a highly trained, active WSB agent who is still operating in the shadows of Port Charles. Brennan might just be using Danny Morgan's emotional testimony as a convenient excuse to force Anna to close the case quickly. By acting like he is helping the PCPD, Brennan is actually controlling the entire narrative, ensuring that Anna never looks in the direction of the real WSB mole. This brings us to the heartbreaking situation with Rocco Falconer. The obvious explanation seems to be that Rocco is the shooter, driven by a moment of panic and a desperate need to protect Jason Morgan. The show is certainly making it look like all the evidence is slowly but surely pointing directly at this traumatized teenager. But something about this feels hidden. Insider speculation suggests that this is a classic writer misdirection. What if Rocco never actually pulled the trigger? What if the real assassin was standing in the shadows, orchestrating the entire hit on Ross Cullum, and Rocco simply witnessed it? The real killer might be pulling the strings behind the scenes, using Rocco's presence on the pier that night to frame a child and keep the PCPD running in circles. Rocco might just be a pawn in a much larger, much darker WSB conspiracy. Shifting gears to another developing alliance, Michael Corinthos is set to have a very interesting meeting with Jordan Ashford. Everyone assumes that Michael is just being a supportive friend, offering to use his wealth and influence to help Jordan get admitted to the exclusive German clinic that previously treated his own severe injuries. Most viewers believe this is just a touching moment of community support. But another theory is that Michael is playing a much longer, much more calculated game. Michael is a Corinthos. And he was raised to understand the immense value of leverage. What if he isn't just helping Jordan out of the goodness of his heart? What if he is intentionally creating a scenario where the former police commissioner owes him a massive, life-altering favor? Michael knows that Jack Brennan and the WSB are a looming threat to his family. By securing Jordan's loyalty now, Michael is essentially buying a powerful ally. When the time is right, he will absolutely call in that favor, using Jordan's investigative skills and law enforcement connections to help him take down Brennan or expose the WSB's corruption. It is a brilliant, ruthless chess move disguised as an act of charity. While everyone is distracted by the black box and the WSB drama, we need to talk about Britt Westbourne. Britt is currently fighting tooth and nail to get her old job back at General Hospital, constantly clashing with the new arrival, Dr. Tristan Roberts. The obvious explanation seems to be that Britt is just a dedicated doctor trying to reclaim her professional life and her pride after all her recent legal troubles. I keep wondering whether we are completely misreading Britt's motives. What if her desperate push to get reinstated at GH has absolutely nothing to do with practicing medicine? There is a massive hidden agenda possibility here. Britt might be secretly trying to gain high-level administrative access to the hospital's secure medical records and private servers. Think about it. Ross Cullum and Jen Sidwell were running an incredibly complex illegal medical operation involving fake Huntington's disease diagnoses and experimental cold fusion side effects. What if there is highly classified WSB data or hidden files regarding Cullum's experiments buried deep within the General Hospital archives? Britt isn't just looking for a paycheck. She is going undercover in her own hospital to unearth the dark secrets that Cullum left behind. On the domestic front, things are supposed to be happy for Curtis Ashford and Porsha Robinson now that they are bringing their newborn baby home. Curtis visits Porsha and gently suggests that he should stay over for the baby's first night at home. Everyone assumes this will be a sweet bonding moment for the fractured family. But if you ask me, the tension in that room is going to be suffocating. I have a strong feeling that Porsha is going to hesitate, and she might even outright refuse his request. Something about this feels hidden. Porsha is clearly carrying the weight of a massive unspoken secret that Curtis knows nothing about. It might have something to do with Isaiah Gannon, or perhaps something even darker regarding the night she went into labor. If Porsha pushes Curtis away during what should be their happiest moment, it is a glaring red flag that the distance between them is growing into an unbridgeable chasm, and a devastating revelation is waiting just around the corner. Then we have Lulu Spencer, who recently had a very intense conversation with Dante Falconeri, telling him that she finally knows exactly what she has to do. Most viewers believe she is talking about her romantic feelings or making a final decision about her custody battle in a legal sense. But what if we're looking at this the wrong way? I believe Lulu is preparing to make a highly dangerous, incredibly risky devil's deal with Valentine Cassadine. Lulu is desperate to protect Charlotte from the chaos, and she knows that fighting Valentine in court will only cause more trauma. I suspect Lulu will offer Valentine a compromise, allowing him access to Charlotte. But in the world of Port Charles, nothing comes for free. Valentine is a master manipulator. In exchange for peace with Charlotte, Valentine might demand that Lulu keep her mouth shut about a crucial piece of evidence she uncovered, a secret that has the potential to completely destroy Anna Devane's ongoing investigation into the WSB. Lulu might have to sacrifice her morals and obstruct justice just to keep her daughter safe. Let us break down the possibilities, because we are looking at multiple scenarios here that could completely change the landscape of the show. Possibility 1. Jack Brennan is entirely focused on self-preservation. In this scenario, Brennan doesn't care about the WSB's overall mission anymore. He is simply using Rocco Falconer as a convenient fall guy to distract Anna while he quietly prepares to assassinate Valentine and flee the country before the black box data can be decrypted. Possibility 2, the WSB has an active, highly lethal mole embedded within the Port Charles Police Department. In this scenario, Brennan is intentionally feeding Anna false leads because the person who actually shot Ross Cullum is a cop standing right next to Anna. Brennan is protecting his inside asset, and the entire investigation is rigged from the inside out. Possibility 3. Valentine and Brennan are secretly working together. This would be the ultimate betrayal. What if their feud is entirely staged? They might be putting on a show to draw out Carly Spencer, using her thirst for revenge to manipulate her into doing their dirty work, ultimately trapping her in a federal crime that she can never escape from. But we have to talk about the most dangerous possibility. The one that will leave you staring at the screen long after the credits roll. What if Jack Brennan is not the predator in this storyline? What if he is actually the prey? If Valentine Cassadine truly possesses multiple hidden copies of the black box data, and Carly Spencer is fully weaponized and determined to get lethal revenge for what Brennan did to Jocelyn, then Brennan is walking into a slaughterhouse. The most haunting theory is that the very secrets Brennan spent his entire life trying to protect will be the exact weapons Carly and Valentine used to systematically destroy him. Brennan thinks he is the puppet master, but he might actually be the target of the most sophisticated, devastating takedown in Port Charles history. Nothing is confirmed. We are just connecting the dots of unconfirmed information and insider speculation. But the pieces are moving, and the picture they are forming is terrifying. It could be true, it could be false, but there is absolutely no denying that a massive war is brewing. The black box is not just going to change the fate of one person. It has the power to trigger the collapse of an entire network of secrets that has been manipulating Port Charles for years. Keep your eyes peeled, because the fallout is going to be legendary.
Goodbye. Please like, subscribe, and comment on the GH Spoilers Daily channel.